You're listening to Exploring Anime with Friends, a JMO for Real podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all major podcasting networks. I'm your host, JMO! And today's friend is my wife and co-host. How's it going today, Sarah?
Hi, everyone. It's going great today.
Excellent, excellent. Are you all excited for today's episode of Exploring Anime with Friends?
Oh my goodness, this is a really good one. I'm very excited for it.
Well, yes, it is. Today we'll be diving into the first season of Umamusume, Cinderella Gray, a sports coming of age focused on horse racing, released in April of 2025. First, we will meet our main character, the horse girl herself, Oguri Cap, and her trainer, Joe Kitahara. Afterwards, we will go through her time in her early high school days at Kasamatsu, and then explore some of how she captured national attention, and finally, her transferring to the national level for horse racing. And if you like what you hear today, remember to check us out on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. Click that button right down there.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, somewhere there. All right. Man, this was such an amazing anime.
It was fantastic.
And it flew completely off our radar for most of 2025. Right now, as we're recording, Anime 2025 award season is going on. And this one actually won Anime of the Year in one of the large anime communities online. So I know it's not any official award or anything, but it was like, wow, how did I miss this completely? So we went back and we watched it, and it's like, man, we would have both included it on our best new anime of 2025 list. Would we have not?
Absolutely.
So we want to apologize that this show did not come about sooner. But the minute we knew it was out, when we watched it and we fell in love with it, we knew we had to release the show.
Absolutely.
And even before we get further in, did you know that the main character, she's based off of a real Japanese legendary racehorse?
She was?
Yeah, she's based off of
that's cool.
Yeah, the horse Oguri Cap raced from 1985 to 2010. And I think it was something like 122 of 32 races that she participated in over the course of that 25-year career. Isn't that insane?
That's great. Like, I don't know what the stats are for horse racing, but that sounds pretty impressive to me.
Winning 22 of 32. Like that's not podiums. That's wins.
That's absolute wins. The number one.
Yes. After I uncovered those stats, I was like, okay, so I have even more appreciation. And now I want to know, did the horse really go through the obstacles that Oguri Cap went through in this series? So I'm going to be looking more into it in the future. Maybe I'll jot it down on the comment section whenever I figure that out.
Yeah,
but,
why not?
Man, so excited. Oguri, she's an amazing character. Talk to us about her.
She is pretty amazing. First, I was thinking she was very soft-spoken, not shy, just didn't talk much. But then after a couple episodes, you're like, oh no, she talks all the time. It's just she says what she says and she's done pretty much. She's a ridiculously hard worker. Perseverance, thy name is Oguri Cap. She arrives to school the first time dirty. And you're like, all the classmates are like, what is, you don't even wash your clothes? No, she washes them. She was already running her races, though. She was already training. And she just arrived straight from training.
I'm going to say something in there, though.
Okay.
At the point in time when Oguri became more motivated, when she really figured out what she was going for, her appearance changed. I know she had moments of dirty.
Yes.
But until that point in time, until she got her social acclamation as a result of befriending a Belno Light and actually starting to chip away at other people's who first prejudged her, she started to care more. I'm going to say that early on, she really kind of was that country bumpkin that was always dirty all the time. And she started to take more pride because one of the most noteworthy things is the dancing.
Yes.
That's how you could tell she took more pride, because when they win a race, they do a victory dance.
I mean, she didn't have the best song selection herself. I think that was part of it. Her trainer should have helped her.
Yes, he should have.
Side note, what the heck's going on? Why didn't you help your girl? But someone no, you need help. We can talk about the whole thing later if you want, but it was great.
We're not throwing Joe completely under bus, though.
That's fair.
Yeah, Joe has the moment that really kind of sets the whole thing together right at the beginning. Because before Oguri ever is even seen in the anime, they go through a national level race that he's watching on his phone. And his friend is saying to him, better focus more on here. And Joe simply says, there are no stars here.
Yeah.
And then Oguri just runs right by him during practice.
Yep, she's just doing her thing, practicing, getting her run on.
And he immediately sees it.
Yep.
And he waits for her to debut at the academy, do the initial races, and everyone's there because they're all excited
All the
for
trainers, yeah.
March. She's the big Umamusume that everyone is there and wanting to recruit. And he waits for Oguri's race, and he just sees her next level dominance, despite the fact that she starts off with an untied shoelace. She just blows past
I'm not even going to say
the whole
that
competition.
That was intentional.
Oh yeah, no, that's all on Mimi. We'll get more to Mimi when we're talking about them, but we're talking about Oguri now.
Yes.
And her relationship with Joe, because he immediately recognized it. And man, talk to us about Oguri's glow up.
I mean, it's pretty fantastic, to be completely honest. You're right. She is that country bumpkin. She starts going to Kamatatsu to get her race on. She starts racing, and it's absolutely incredible. She's great. And she realizes as she's going through, yes, these changes need to happen. And she's going through, and the dance gets better. Because the first time you see her dance, like, perspective, I didn't have the perspective that the crowd did, but the crowd was like,
she's dancing to some old,
it had to be like
old
oldies,
time 1800s,
like, yeah, old song,
like dirge.
Yeah. And the crowd just like, okay. And she gets the cool newer hip song, and she does the cooler new hip dance when she wins again, because it's only first place. I feel like I need to say this. Dancing after you get first place, that's a punishment. That is why. I want to know why. Yeah. But anyways,
I mean, people celebrate wins in all sorts of ways. I guess
doing it in front of a crowd, though.
I guess it's a tradition over there. I mean,
know.
Obviously not a horse tradition. Maybe the jockey does it. Like I don't even know. I'm not even going to begin to guess.
The horse.
Really, this makes you want to learn more about the culture, the customs, and about sporting events. We've talked a lot about her personality, and her personality does not get lost at all. As a matter of fact, she embraces what they're saying about her. They're calling her the beast. They're calling her the Ashen Beast, and she starts calling herself the Beast.
She is the Beast.
Yeah, she fully embraces that. Some people don't want to be called the Beast.
It's not flattering. It's really not.
But at the same time, it is. Never knew it would be for her. And she really just embraces the whole thing. She's there for the ride, working as hard as possible. And she ultimately just wants to be the best. And it's refreshing because there's not a lot of complicated drama when it comes to her, right?
I mean, drama appears, but she's not the one that's carrying the drama. It's other people's drama.
Yeah. Her life is simple. She has a good relationship with her mother. She's sent a crown. Let's talk a little bit about her appearance, because her appearance is actually very important, because Ashen Mane Umamusume are not noted good racers.
That's fair.
And she has an ashen mane. Talk to us about the little crown that her mom gives her.
It's a cute little crown. It really is. So her mom mails it to her because country bumpkin, she's not from Kamatatsu. She's living there in the dorms. So her mom sends it to her, and she's like, this is what I wore when I raced, thinking maybe you wanted to wear it too. And it's just this very simple, like, they're like diamond-shaped little gold things, and it just sits really nice on her head. It's cute. It's super cute.
We've been talking about her time at Kasamatsu throughout this, and we talked about the opening scene, how she walks in the class dirty, and that endears her to Belno Light, who becomes her best friend. Belno's not a good racer.
But we all need friends like Belno.
But she has a very gifted mind, and she's really good at making things like cleats for the bottom of the sneakers. She knows all the science behind the racing.
Her family was involved in it.
Yeah.
It owns one of like the big selling like cleat companies.
She hooks up Oguri really well after her first loss, which her first loss is still a podium. It's
still second place.
So yeah, she's a great friend, and she basically helps Oguri get to the point where she's on a level playing field with everyone, or even a slightly better playing field, because her footwear is exactly what it needs to be. So they're really close friends, and obviously March is the elite student that everyone is looking up to, and she's grumpy. Like she's
that's a good word.
I wouldn't call her a bully per se, but she is a loner. She's an aggressive, intimidating loner, but that everyone looks up to. And man, talk to us about Norn, Rudy, and Minnie.
So I'm going to start with Norn real quick. When Oguri arrives to the dorms, Norn's pretty much like, I'm not done setting up my half of the room. So you're going to have to go like sleep in the closet pretty much. And it's like a janitor's closet. It's not small. It's pretty big. There's a spot for her to sleep. But we're like, that's messed up. You're a terrible person. We don't like you.
And Oguri's like, I have my own room.
Yeah. Oguri.
This is so spacious and so wonderful.
My gosh, she loved it. And I was like, girl must have been living bad. Like, I don't know.
You get the impression she grew up poor.
Yeah. And for a little bit while, that's Norn in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You don't see Norn much beyond that, beyond the, this is my room, I'm working on it. You can come in when it's done, but it's not done yet, so you have to stay away. That's Norn.
Yep.
Minnie.
Oh, Minnie's the evil one.
Minnie's the one you really gotta watch out for. Minnie's the prankster, the cheater.
The troublemaker.
I mean, I don't necessarily know that she was like trying to cheat as much as trying to prank with that first thing where she untied Oguri's shoelaces, but she's definitely the troublemaker.
And Rudy's the one who just kind of bites hard and lashes back.
Yes, yeah, the big bark.
And they're all there on Team March.
Yes,
and
they have their little March fans that they wave when March is racing.
But as they get to know Oguri, and as they get to watch her race, and as they get to realize that she is something special, the fact that she's not letting them get to her, the fact that she sits in the middle of the cafeteria filling her plate full of all the food.
We talk about how much that girl eats?
Yeah, talk about the challenging the all you could eat before we get back to the other three.
Oh my goodness. You see everyone's plates, and everyone's got like their normal size food plates, but Oguri's got like 10 plates piled high and going back for more.
Goodness.
Like, girl's putting it somewhere, I don't know where, but like she's eating so much food. She's drinking all the water. She's doing all the things.
Just you talking about how much she eats is making me thirsty. Sounds like a good time for a dubby break for me. Today I'm drinking the fruit punch, and yeah, this is a clean energy drink. There's no sugar added. There's no preservatives added, and it's just a really excellent energy drink. Talk about it. What are you drinking today, Sarah?
I love the mango orange cream, and it tastes like a creamsicle. Same thing, it's one of the energy drinks. They do have hydration drinks, which are really good too. I actually had the grapefruit one. I don't like grapefruit. I've never liked grapefruit flavored things, but I actually really liked the grapefruit flavored hydration drink. But this is the like orange mango cream deliciousness.
So if you want to join us, you can go to dubby.com, that's DUBBY.com, and input the code ExploringAnime524. That's Exploring Anime in all caps, and you get a 10% discount from our show. Enjoy. So she's eating a lot and she's drinking a lot. So as she's living out her life, being her own person and showing excellence, she wins the other three over.
Yeah, no, it's quite beautiful. The fact that she wins Norn over first, and Norn's finally like, well, I'm done, I guess, getting the room set up, so you can come in the room now. And I was like, yeah, Norn.
And Norn turns into a super fan.
Super fan.
If you're a fan of what we're talking about, remember to check it out for yourself on Amazon Prime. That's where you have to watch Umamusume, Cinderella Gray. And if you are a fan of our show, remember to check us out on social media. Like, subscribe, and follow. So she's going through everything, and she's getting this recognition, piling up a very impressive win total.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere in the vicinity of 8 out of 10 first place at this point in time. And then at one of the races, her and her trainer, Joe, run into his mentor, Musaka. Tell us about Musaka and the warning that Musaka gave to Joe.
So Musaka is a pretty great guy. He's a trainer generally on the national level.
Yeah.
So why he's down in the regionals, we don't know. Maybe just scouting. So while him and his nephew, Joe, are chit-chatting, Joe's explaining like the next couple races that he's going to do. And Musaka's like, no, you don't want to do that one.
Yeah, he tells him he's going to enter her into Chukyo High. And he didn't say why she shouldn't do it. He just said, you're better off just not taking her to that one yet. Your goal is to win the Tokai Derby. You can do that. You don't need to go to Chukyo High. And Joe, for the life of him, can't figure out why.
Yeah, why not?
So what does he do?
He just does it.
Because he wants to get her the experience of running on turf. Because she's run completely grass up to this point in time. And they go, and Joe runs into Musaka in the audience, and Musaka confronts him.
So Musaka realizes very quickly, because he's good, that Oguri Cap is just going to absolutely dominate this race.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. She's a great racer. She's practically a prodigy. And he also realizes that a lot of the nationals are looking around this race. A lot of the people that are up much higher are keeping a close eye on what's going on.
Very specifically, Simbali Rudolph,
Ooh, yeah.
who is the student council president at Tracen Academy, the most elite Umamusume racing school in Tokyo.
So he's thinking that she's going to get in the limelight real fast, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but maybe take it a little slower would be better.
Well, he doesn't necessarily think that Oguri needs to go slower. He just realizes if she does this, when she does this, she's going to have to be removed from Joe to go to the national level, or they're going to have to face a lot of pressure for not doing it. Joe's not nationally licensed.
Yeah, you have to have a national license to be a trainer for the nationals.
And he knows Joe's going to lose his shot at the Tokai Derby. He's like, if you really wanted the Tokai Derby, going here and exposing Oguri to the limelight is just going to get you to not have that Tokai Derby, because that's the big regional one, and she's going to be moving on to national races. So what happens? She dominates the race.
She absolutely wins.
Yeah, and then it puts her in a situation. Tell us about the sadistic choice that her trainer, Joe, gives to her.
So Simbali Rudolph calls Joe up and says, we want to sponsor her for nationals. And Joe knows he can't say no. He personally can't be the one to say no to this. That'd be terrible. You would be an absolute terrible trainer if you held your trainee back in that manner. But he also realizes he's losing his chance for his dream to go to the Tokai Derby. I don't know what I would have done in this situation.
It's rough.
It's rough, but he pretty much kind of gives it to Oguri, but not in a way that to me made sense. This was the first time with me and Joe that I was like, I don't really like the way you did this. He basically tells her if she wins this next race, she's moving on to nationals.
Which is a big race, too.
It's a big race.
Yeah, it's the gold junior race.
Yeah. If she loses, then she stays at regionals and they keep going on to the Tokai Derby.
And at this point in time, like, the three are already her fan club. Her whole school is behind her. Even March has had a tender moment with her in which they realize that they are rivals. And Oguri has promised to meet March in the Tokai Derby so that they can race for their dreams against each other. And she has promised that Tokai Derby win to Joe. So she is completely torn as she's heading into the Gold Junior. And you can see it with the way that she's racing.
And like part of it is you could say, well, if she really wants to, why doesn't she just throw the race? She can't do that. She can't just completely throw the race. She's not that kind of person.
You only get so many races in your prime, too.
Yeah.
You only get so many shots at this. She could go back out and dominate afterwards at the regional level, but who's going to want to put her to nationals if she threw a race to stay at regionals?
Yeah. I feel like part of it, too, was she felt like from her trainer that he didn't want her to go on.
Yeah.
He knew it would have been terrible of him not to give her that opportunity, but he wanted her to stay. So as she's racing, not the greatest because her heart's not in it. Musaka and him are talking, and finally he's just like, she just got to let go. Like, he realizes what he did, and he starts cheering her on. And somehow, I have no clue how
They have great hearing. They all have super hearing.
I don't know how it works.
Clearly they can hear what's being shouted from the stands as they're racing.
They're literally racing
at like
top
60
speed.
miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, or whatever it is.
Yeah, she hears him cheer her on, and she finally gets back in the race mentally and just cuts loose.
He frees her. He liberates her. So she transfers to Tracen Academy. Musaka takes over as her trainer while Joe is going to get his license.
Yay!
For the national level.
Even though I didn't like him for that one moment, I liked the dynamic they had.
And she meets Simbali Rudolph as Musaka's taking her on the tour through the campus.
Oh, Belno's there too.
Oh, yeah, Belno's there too.
Cannot leave Belno behind.
Belno passed the test to transfer into their science program.
She studied like crazy and passed the test.
And we're not going to go fully in depth. So really, we're only covering like the first half of the first season because there's so much here when you get to Tracen and you start racing at the national level. She gets into class on the first day, and man, they're a lot more receptive to her here, right?
They are.
She's coming in with a record of, I think 10 wins in 12, and I think the other two were second places. So she's big stuff because a lot of them who are in her class are still waiting on their first race. But Black Ale is not impressed.
No, she is
First
not.
rival, first race. Talk to us about Black Ale and the first race on the national level.
So Black Ale has kind of that go get 'em aggressive personality that we know and love from our fellow racers. And she's just not impressed. She's coming off a 3-game win streak, which is great. Fantastic.
She's the loud, obnoxious rival.
She is the loud, obnoxious rival. And she just basically throws it in Oguri Cap's face and just does what any terrible, mean rival would do. And it's just like, you're not going to win. I'm going to win. I'm just like, ugh, with this girl. So they race.
So Gary's first national level race, a G3 race, the Pegasus Stakes.
Sounds exciting. I like the names of some of these races, by the way. I don't know if they're modeled after real names.
I'm going to guess that they are. I'm guessing we're literally getting the story of the real Oguri Cap.
I hope so. I'm going to do a little research into it, though. I like it.
Yeah.
So as they're racing, it always comes to like that last turn and a home run stretch.
Yeah, because Oguri's a closer.
She's a closer.
She goes into that beast mode. We haven't really talked about her racing style.
We haven't really.
She stays in the back middle of the pack, and she stays to the outside a lot of times too. So she's racing for more than most of her opponents, which gives her a little bit of an advantage when they start ganging up on her at the national level, because she gets too good too quick.
She really does.
But she has an inhuman burst of speed where she just basically puts a crater into the ground.
Yeah, she slams her foot down.
She uses pure knee flexibility and ankle strength to just burst her past opponents at the end. She's a closer.
She's a closer. And she closes. She takes first place. I love how they have a moment before where the first place person thinks they're winning. Almost like every race this happens, I swear. And there's this like mental montage of like, ha, I beat her.
It's not every race though, because some of the front runners are kind of like, she's in rage. Oh no, what am I going to do? Like some definitely panic when it's happening.
But they have that little moment where you hear what the racer's thinking, and then Oguri Cap just blasts past them. And there's this second where they're like slow-mo watching. And I love the detail that they put in that expression. I really do.
Yeah, and at that point in time, she wins the respect of even Black Ale. And Black Ale's in a bad mood.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But she has acknowledged her to be a rival. And you're seeing all these different classmates that she has over the course of these races that are coming and going one after another. And a lot of them are excellent, because Trayson Academy is the elite academy.
It's the school, yeah.
And after the early success, the field starts to gang up on her. They're forcing her out farther. They're not giving her pathways, but she just keeps on overcoming one obstacle after another. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, she's doing all this in G3 and G2 races. G1 races are the highest races outside of the classics. And Oguri is not eligible for the classics. Tell us about that controversy that really defines the middle of the season.
So frustrating. So you have to have your paperwork on time. And when that paperwork for the classics was due, Oguri was still all the way back in Kamatatsu.
Yeah.
Not even an inkling about nationals, probably. Or maybe. But either way, paperwork's due. It's over. It's been over for months, probably. Or weeks at least. So she goes to Simbali Rudolph, and she's like, let me do it. And you see a different side of Simbali for a second there. Because she gets this like kind of cynical, like, they wouldn't even let me do this. Why should I go to bat for you? You haven't proven yourself as a classics racer. And anime moment, Oguri's like, I'm going to prove myself as that racer. And they're going to let me race.
And there's a reporter that jumps on it right from the beginning.
Yep.
His name is Fuji.
That reporter, man.
Her first race, he watches what she does to Black Ale. He's already concluded that she can't race in the classics, because why would she be here if she could race in the classics?
Yeah.
And he confirms it afterwards, and he's like, Japan's greatest talent is not going to be racing in its greatest race.
Yeah.
And he's outraged.
He is.
Not like super angry or anything, but
like reporter outrage.
But I'm a reporter and I'm outraged.
Yeah.
I'm making it my job to get her into those classic races.
Yep.
Including the Tokyo Derby. And as she's piling up wins, she gets to a 6-0 record. And he's writing article after article, and he eventually gets a petition signed with 10,000 signatures to let her in.
Yep. Simbali Rudolph steps up too.
Yeah.
takes those 10,000 signatures with her word as like the top at Tracen Academy, goes to whoever those people are that are in charge of this thing, is like, you need to let her race this.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to give a spoiler. I think we're going to make them watch this.
You should watch it. It's such a good anime.
Yeah. We do have to mention Tamino Cross.
Oh, yeah, right.
We need to mention Tamino Cross.
We do need to mention Tamino Cross.
Talk to us about Cross.
Tamino Cross is another ashen-haired Umamusume.
Oh, but hers is a lot purer white.
It is a lot closer to white.
She's like a full head and shoulders shorter than Oguri. It's insane.
She's
and a full
so
head
short.
shorter than the average racer.
Mhm.
Oguri's a little on the tall side. Not massive Viking tall, but
What was the one's name?
no, there's a lot of great names. Just look into it.
She was big. She was a tall lady. But yeah, Tamino Cross, man, she's got this fiery, sparky personality. I guess I could say sparky and mean that as the pun intended moment.
Sparky, spunky.
You're gonna have to watch why I mean sparky as a pun. She's so excited to race someone as good as Oguri that also has the gray hair, with that stigma of the gray hair, the gray manes don't really race well. So she's super excited.
She's dominating too.
She's
won so many of the top G1 races in a row that by the time that Oguri puts her 6-0 record on the line, and Oguri's going for the record of most consecutive wins to start the career at the national level, Tamino is going for the record of most consecutive G1 wins.
Yeah.
So this is a true rivalry that begins, and this happens after the verdict of what is going to happen. So she really dominates the second half of the first season because the true rivalry is formed. A lot of them have been painted to be rivals up to this point in time, but Tamino, she is the standard. And she is very likable.
She is. She's fun.
Yeah, 100%. So you definitely have to check that out. We highly recommend this.
We do. Oh my gosh.
If I were going back in time and I were remaking my list of where this lands as far as the new anime of 2025, I probably would have had it come in 3 after Medalist and To Be Hero X for me personally. Man, the suspense that they draw out in every single race.
They do each race so well.
You feel it inside you. Oguri's a well-written character. It's a well-written story. Obviously, they have real-life events to base it off of, but they had to add some of the stuff in. The characters are all very well-written, though. The soundtrack in the background scenery. This is an anime without any real flaw whatsoever, and excels in the main character and the story.
Absolutely. I don't know where it would have fallen in my list, but it would have been up there pretty high. It was like it's a racing like anime. Like I didn't even think that would draw me in as much as it did. And yeah, there's a little bit of like not magic, but like they're horse girls. They're not real people, they're horse girl people. So that adds a little something to it, but it all comes together so well.
It does.
Excellent job. I love it. It's fantastic.
So once again, we got to meet our main girl, Oguri Cap, and we went through her journey early on as she goes to Kasamatsu, meets her first ever rival, March, and her best friend, Bellino. And we see how Joe makes a mistake and enters her in the Chokyo High event, where she gains national recognition, ultimately transferring to Tracen Academy to study under Joe's uncle, Musaka. And then we see how her career takes off and debuts, the controversy with the classics and Fuji shedding light on it, and the rivalry with Tamino Cross. We hope you had as much fun exploring the first season of Umamusume Cinderella Gray as we have, and consider watching this anime. Bye! So if you like what you heard today, make sure you listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you stream your podcast. Listen to all of our J-Mill for Real podcast. And hit us up on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. Once again, this was Exploring Anime with Friends. Let's explore together. And now for a word from our sponsors. And today's show was brought to you by Dubby Energy, a modern approach to energy drinks with no sugar, dyes, or fillers added. Dubby Energy, be better. And use code EXPLORINGANIME524 for 10% off your order. That's EXPLORINGANIME524, one word, all capital letters, for 10% off your latest Dubby Energy order. Link listed in the show notes.